my name is Matthew Kurtti, but everybody calls me Matt. I'm from America, but I currently live in Japan. I grew up in a small town called Hazen, North Dakota, and grew up on a farm. And after school, I went to university to study physics and science. After university, I decided I wanted to live abroad, and at that time, I moved to Japan for the first time as an English teacher. And yeah, and to this day now I'm still in Japan, but yeah, that's me. Okay, so my family in Hazen, North Dakota, I have two older brothers, Nathan and Jason, and then my loving parents, Arlen and Cheryl. Arlen is my father, Cheryl is my mother. And at one time in junior high school, like we all grew up on a farm, like I said, and one day my dad came to us like around dinner time and talked to us and said, "Hey guys, what do you think if we had a foreign exchange student live with us?" And my brothers were interested, everyone was interested, but I was like, what are you talking about? Like a stranger in our house, what are you talking about? And but you know, we talked a little bit and I'm like, okay, let's give it a shot. And our first exchange student was Young. And that was my first experience, basically experiencing a different culture once Young started to live with us. And at first it was a little uncomfortable, but over the year we became very close. We experienced so much together. So after Young returned to Korea from our home in America, Young and his family, they reached out to us and said, "Hey, would you guys be interested in coming to Korea to stay with us during the summer for a month?" And me and my brother Jason had that opportunity to go to Korea and meet Young's family. Yeah, from then on, that experience really like changed who I was as a person and set me on a different path, I think, in my life. So truly a life-changing experience for me. Yeah, so first, I think having Young as an exchange student, when I was a kid, I was very shy. Like with my family, I was very open and we could laugh and joke around, but outside of our little small family, I was just a shy boy. Like I just wasn't talkative at all, very awkward. That's why I was so scared at first when my dad said, "Oh, what if we have an exchange student?" I'm like, I don't know them, like what are we gonna do if they're in our house? But by having Young stay with us and I was able to open my heart to him and become closer with him as a brother, it taught me that, you know, it's okay to do that with many people, to be able to become closer with other people and welcome them into your family. So that part changed me. And then when I went to Korea, similar thing, I was able to have a similar experience to Young by being with, you know, your Korean family and being, you know, taught many things by Ansu and Minjin, and, you know, experience that kind of love too. So that, again, I think that helped add more to my, it just opened my mind to, you know, what it means to try to be the best person you can be. Because I think it doesn't happen right away. You can't get close with someone right away. Because even in the beginning when Young was staying with us, like we picked him up from the airport, you know, we're like, "Oh, hey, welcome to America." But it was very awkward at first, even then. Because Young was also, I'm sure, so nervous and shy. And we were shy, and I was just in the car. At first, I think it was like, probably it took at least a week to even feel like we would have small talk, of course, being like, "Oh, you know, tell me about yourself, what food do you like?" But then I still wasn't comfortable yet. But I think to become closer with people, and by Young actually being in our home, not just being out and about, but being in our home, I think the key is having those little moments where you kind of, because everyone I feel like has like a wall like in their heart or their mind where, you know, you have small talk, but then you have those little moments where you can laugh about something, where, you know, someone does something funny or, you know, does a silly thing and everyone laughs, and then you can let your guard down and just, now you're not trying too hard to think about small talk. You're not even thinking about it. You're just talking now and having fun. And those little moments kept on building up until I saw Young as my brother. So I think that's the key to being able to, you know, become closer with other people.
Now it's time to start another one. What? Yeah. There's more light this time. Wait, what are you doing? Shut that door. What's wrong with you? What's with
Because for me, I think that, you know, because many different people, right, exchange students, from what I've heard from other people, sometimes, you know, people have very different experiences, some good or bad. And I think that depends on, for one, with family, a lot of it comes down to welcoming someone into your home. Because for a lot of people, the home is like your safe space. And it's risky when you do that, because that's where you know, relax and stuff. But if you have a good experience like that, welcoming someone into your home and into your heart as a family, now they're there. And you know, it's to the point, like I said, where you can kind of like, you don't have to think, you can just share anything with them. To me, that's what it means to be a family, is that you can share that stuff, share the same space, and the same space like in your heart, right? And to me at least, if you do that, you know, you can welcome someone in like that. And whether it's your blood family or any family, sometimes when people go their own ways in their life, you know, you're busy with your own lives and you don't talk as much anymore. But if you don't try to keep that connection, then, you know, it's almost like you're letting them out of your heart and be forgotten. And I think it's important for family, you know, you had those moments and those memories where you welcome them into your heart and then to your home. So when I think me and my mom and our family, we keep in touch because we don't want to forget, and we don't want to, like, you know, we have those good memories, so we want to keep all of our loved ones in our hearts. So I think that's what family means to me. Because first with my dad, it's not just one memory, but in general, I always felt like he always very easygoing, not a very serious guy, I would say. Very easygoing, chill. He had a laugh. He always has a laugh that would light up the room. Like if you hear him laugh, you want to laugh too. Those kind of memories. But when something's happening, like there were many times when I was like a little kid that like, sometimes like, you know, I would be like bullied or I was like crying from something at school. And like I would just be in my room crying. And maybe my parents would hear, either they would hear or they'd knock to check up on me and I'm just crying. And they just always, they were just like, oh, what's wrong? Like, tell us everything. Like, looking me in the eye and just like letting me say what I wanted to say and tell them my feelings and taking me seriously. Like, those moments, like, still to this day stick with me. At the end of the day, you know, again, like many forms of love, but I think at the end of the day, with the Kurtti family, a lot of it comes down to being able to laugh with one another. Like, no matter what's going on in our lives, if there's hardship or other things, with members of my family, we always find some way to be able to laugh together. And, you know, those moments, I think, are the best. I'm just very honored and humbled by that. Like, it really means a lot to me and my family, I think, that you all named it after us. We walked into like the lounge area downstairs and Young was like, oh yeah, by the way, Mom's album that she gave to me is there. And I was like, I did not know that. And I was just like, what? And that was like the first thing we did, I think, was we took the album and like sat down together. It made me start feeling so many emotions, because I don't know why, but I forgot that my mom made that for Young. And so seeing all those memories, it just like brought it all back and like, yeah, it made me feel very emotional. And so after I was experiencing those emotions from looking at the album and we came to our room and dropped off our bags, Young was like, oh, we also have like a journal in each room where the guests can write any thoughts they want. And I was like, this is the perfect time to write down my thoughts after looking at the album. I was like, I need to get my thoughts out there. So that was very relaxing to also just be able to, again, kind of like this Kurtti room, to open up and let everything out. I could do that in the journal, which helped me relax even more. After seeing those memories, and of course at this point in my life I'm thinking about when I become a father, so seeing all those pictures of the memories we had and like my dad, and it just started making me think like, okay, about all the father figures in my life and all of their good traits and what I want to take from all of them to be that kind of father to my children. So in the book I was writing down, for example, like I said about my American dad, his like easygoing attitude and always having open ears to any of our problems. And then Ansu, his discipline. And even I wrote about my Japanese father, my wife's father. He's like a father to me now too. He's been very open to me and he's a very strong man. And so I was just writing down all of their good traits and telling myself, this is the type of father I want to be someday. I want you all to know that Prenom is very amazing, and I hope you all can make it here someday and experience this and see the album like I did and see those memories. I know that right now we're all kind of very apart and at different points in all of our lives. But I want you all to know that I love you all very much, even though, you know, I know it might seem like sometimes that I've left or I kind of left you all behind in America, but, and I know it's very hard for all of you right now at your different points in your life, but I want you all to know that I wish the best for all of you, and I hope that, you know, we can all find our happiness and still someday I can visit you all in America and have more happy memories. That's my message to them.
Oh, it's going! Hey, Jan.
Hey, right here.
Hello there, Hazen.
Hello.
Nathan's missing. Darn it, Nathan's missing and I can't. Dang, I can't annoy Nathan. What's up, Mama? Come here, you. Come here, you. Yeah. I got you in my sights. Gotcha.
What's working?
Practice completed. Nathan's doing homework.
Oh, Matthew.
Done.
You know, you should like record some of Young's experiences with that, because he always takes pictures. Imagine if you got stuff recorded with that.
Yeah, that'd be so intense.
No, seriously, like you should have like seen if you could have gone in at the dance tonight and you could have like gotten pictures.
Well, I just run in.
Acting